Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Wildflower Wills YouTube channel. I'm Louise, and it is Monday, which means it is cast on day here. You all were voting for yarn for this week's project, so tonight's format's going to follow just like every other Monday night. We're going to talk about the yarn you were voting for, what is the winning yarn, we'll talk a little bit about the project for this week, and I have a finish to show you. If you didn't catch Jocelyn and I chatting Friday night, I will show you my sweater, and I've got a little bit of progress on the new starts from the last couple of weeks, and then we will talk a little bit about Sock Madness because that has started again for this year. So, hi everybody. I see some people in the chat. So today was Monday, but it was a holiday Monday for a lot of us here in Canada. So some of you may have had the day off, and if you did, I hope you had some extra time to do some knitting. Oh, okay, let's see what we had. I pulled out yarn from my stash this morning. Y'all know I have been talking about Karen cakes. If you've been watching for any time at all, you probably know that I have got a very good stash of Karen cakes because it's hard to resist the pretty colors. And I did just finish the scarf, my mistake rib scarf. This was in the colorway Red Velvet. And while I was knitting that, I was just saying how it was always nice to have a scarf on the needles. The mistake rib pattern was an easy one because it was great for, Zoom calls, knit nights, waiting at the doctor's office, all that kind of thing, right? Because you could just read your stitches, no pattern, no rows to count, easy to pick it up, put it down. So I thought, I need to start another scarf. And I really actually do need this project because Sock Madness socks have started, and they are not a pair of socks that you can just knit any place, anytime you want. So I do need a mindless knitting project. And I know I might have a couple of those already on the needles, but can never have too many. So this is what I pulled out. I looked up at my stash and kind of picked two nice bright colors because this time of year we need a little bit of brightness. It's been snowing this weekend. So this colorway here, this one is red pinks, and it's like it's not quite white. It's more like a really, really blush pink. This is cherry chip, and this one here is blueberry kiwi. Blues and greens. Very, very pretty. If I had to bet this morning, if I was going to say when I pulled these off the shelf, I mean, I never really know what you guys are going to vote for, but I might have picked this one. Even because this one, I don't know. It's red, it's February, it's Valentine's Day. Does that have anything? I don't know. And it's also bright and cheery. But this one here also looks like spring. Green grass, blue skies. Hope that spring is on its way. Sorry, you guys. Hopefully my voice will hold out for the whole hour. I've been sick all weekend, so and I thought I was feeling better until about half an hour ago. So fingers crossed. We'll see how the hour goes. Anyways, this is what you all were voting for. There was quite a few votes. There was a lot of mixed comments. Some people were saying they loved greens, so they were voting for this one. Some people said, no, Louise, you just finished a blue project. So they were voting for this colorway. Some people were voting for this one because they said it was just so bright and cheery. There was reasons for everything, and really you can't go wrong because both of them would look gorgeous. So the um fiber content of these, sometimes you might think Karen cakes upside down and backwards. You might think Karen cakes are just an acrylic blend, and some of them are. They've got such a line of Karen cake yarns now, but these ones here, I don't know if they're just Karen cakes. I don't know if these were like the original ones. Most of these, I don't want to say all of them because I picked up some, and some of them have been 100% acrylic, but most of these Karen cake balls are 80% acrylic with 20% wool. So they're really nice to knit with. The 20% wool doesn't make them itchy, I don't think, not to me anyways. And they're great. There's 200 grams in a ball. So my last scarf that I did, I cast on a few less stitches than maybe you normally would and made a long skinny scarf, and it worked great to double wrap it. This one here, I'm going to cast on a few more stitches and we'll see what we get for the length. So, oh my gosh, Jude, it's 1 a.m. and you're up for the morning. That is a short night, Jude. So, hi everybody. Hi, Carol. So Carol's is another Sock Madness knitter. Is there anybody else in the chat who's doing Sock Madness? Nikki, I don't think you signed up. Nikki, you're home now, aren't you? I thought, sorry, Nikki. I thought about you. I was going to send you a message this afternoon and I didn't. But I was thinking about you. I'm glad that you're home. Jen is here. Jen, you're doing Sock Madness, aren't you? Anyways, okay, so the voting. We had quite a few votes again today. It's always fun when we get see all this many votes. We had 134 votes. The winning ball of yarn had 60% of the votes. I guess I will tell you what I'm casting on this week. Now it is Sock Madness, and until I'm no longer knitting in Sock Madness, my new starts are going to get started and then kind of set aside and worked on in between the sock projects. But I always like to say you can't finish something if you don't start it. So it's always good to have lots of starts on the needles. That's my motto, anyways. Okay, so what I'm going to cast on for just a simple scarf to have on the go, kind of when I need a break from the Sock Madness sock. What I'm going to cast on this week is, double check my counting, is the blue. What did I say? 60% of the votes went to the blue, so the cherry chip is going to go back on the shelf for now. I have knit something in cherry chip before. I'm sure I've knit probably a scarf in this, but I don't think I have knit with this colorway. So this will be really fun to knit up and see those colors. What I was thinking, this may shock you all. You all knew that I love doing the mistake rib pattern, but I thought I would mix it up a little bit and maybe do, I love a double seed stitch, but I also like the bee stitch. And I haven't knit anything with that in a little while. So it is a knit one below pattern. So I may cast that on. I think I may do the bee stitch. Has anybody knit that? Do you guys love it? Do you know what I mean? It forms a textured stitch. It looks kind of like seed stitch maybe. But I haven't done anything with that for a while. So I think I will do that to start with. And unless I really don't like how it's knitting up, or if I'm finding it's not as simple as I remember it to be, then I may, if, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to try that and we'll see where I get. But anyways, a scarf will be cast on. Don't know if it'll be finished for this winter because spring is really just around the corner, you guys. It's not going to be long and it's March. Then we're on the downhill count to spring. And so this may be a good scarf for next year to go in the Christmas box, go in the donation box. We'll see what happens with that. Okay. Oh, Nikki was giving me a drum roll tonight. Liz, Liz, you voted for red. Interesting. Oh, Nikki voted for the green and blue. Oh, Diane's here. Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn, did I show it to, did you hear? I think you voted for this, Jocelyn, because you were talking about blueberries and lemonade and all the summery things. And this is what won. Oh, Nancy's on top of it. She's updating you. Oh, Jude's Tracking Jocelyn down about the mystery knit along. That's so fun. Jocelyn, just so you know, somebody left a comment on our podcast. Must have been Friday night's podcast, and they were asking me about your MCAL, so I directed them to your Ravelry page. So hopefully they will find it and download the pattern and maybe cast it on and have some fun with the rest of us who are knitting it. Um, let's see. Oh, yes. I was pretty sure you voted for blue. All right. So, anyways, that's it. The blue is going to get cast on. I even found a needle, you guys. I found a 5 millimeter needle. It's a worsted weight yarn, but it's a scarf. I think they can be drapey, so we're going to go with a 5. And it's also going to help stretch my yarn just a touch because I am going to cast on a few more stitches. I want it to be wider than this one. Even though I like this and I don't regret making it skinny because when you double wrap it, it works out just perfectly. But I did cast on, oh my gosh, what was this? Multiple of 4 plus 3. But because of the ribbed pattern, it really shrunk in a lot. So I may just cast on the same number of stitches and see what the difference is in the V-stitch pattern and see how far we get with one ball of yarn. So that will be a fun project to have. So a 5 millimeter needle, a little bit bigger gauge, stretch the yarn a bit, make it a little longer. Nice and cozy drapey scarf. I think it'll be just wonderful. Um, okay. Hi, Cindy. Oh, Cindy, you voted twice. That's okay, because you guys, you can vote in all the places, because you can vote here on YouTube. Sometimes I forget to post it here till later in the day, but typically it is here. YouTube, Wildflower Will's Facebook page, and Instagram, in stories, and then in the feed post. So you can vote as many times as you want if there's something that you really, really, really want to see cast on. So, okay, let's talk about finishes, you guys, because my finishes, I don't have finishes every week. So, we're going to talk about this for a little bit. And I'm sorry if you might have seen this Friday night with Jocelyn. You may have seen it again Saturday morning with Cheryl. And you're going to see it again tonight because finishes deserve to be shown off multiple times. So, this is the Simple Summer Tweed top down v-neck. Lovely, lovely pattern. If you just search for that, Simple Summer Tweed top down v-neck, um, it comes up in Ravelry and it is a free pattern. Um, oh, I don't have the pattern with me and I just lost the designer's name. But what was I gonna say? So did I say it is a free pattern? So, and it knits up wonderfully. I had no trouble with the pattern. I knit it as is from the pattern. I did an extra large size. And, there we go. Louisa's got it. Oh, I was gonna guess Heidi. Heidi, um, Kameyer? I'm not exactly sure how you pronounce the last name. I don't think I've seen any of her other designs, but this one was very, very well written. I did not come across any errors in the pattern, which for a free patterns, you take what you get, right, with a free pattern. This one was really, really well written, and somebody did let me know that somebody on Ravelry had charted out all the increases when you're doing the V-neck, because at the same time you're starting up here, you're working, oh my goodness, increases down here for your raglan, and then you're working increases for the V-neck. So some rounds you are doing, well, rows to start with until you get down to here and you're joining. Sometimes you're increasing body stitches and sleeve stitches. Sometimes it's just body stitches. Um, then you're just and then there's V-neck stuff going on. At some point, you're adding that in. So I did have to write it all out. I did really appreciate that the pattern itself was really condensed, so it wasn't like 15 pages with every size written out. So it made it very easy to find what you were doing, and then I could just write out what I needed for myself in a way that made sense to my brain to keep track of where increases and playing knit rounds, and it was really, really simple. But somebody did say Ravelry, so if you did a search on Ravelry, you could find somebody's done all that work for you. IE is pronounced E. That doesn't really help me, Liz. Okay, so what is it? Heidi Kiemeyer? Kiemeyer? Thank goodness I'm not an English teacher, you guys. Oh, thanks, Sally. Nancy says Kiemir. Oh, Kiemir. Okay, Kiemir. Heidi Kiemir. Kier like Pierre. I know. This is terrible. Um, Anyways, you guys will find her. Look for Heidi, simple summer tweed, top down V-neck. Um, yeah, it's great. So there is an option to do a crew neck if you don't like V-necks, and there is sizing in there for men and women's sizes. So, if you want just a simple raglan, and there's like hard, almost no finishing. I think in the pattern description it says like no finishing. Maybe it says minimal finishing because there really isn't because it has sorry, no ends woven because sock madness pattern came out. But it's just you just knit till you're the length you want your sleeves, you cast off and you let it roll. On the body, if you heard Jocelyn and I talking 2 Fridays ago, we were talking about the body, the bottom, because we were worried that sometimes when things have a rolled cuff on them, they just like to keep rolling, and so then the length of your sweater ends up a little short. So we were tossing around ideas of what we could do to stop it from rolling, and Jocelyn was thinking about doing some ribbing. Knitting the body. Okay, well, see, there's a perfect can you see that? What I did is not really the best because the whole thing flips up. So what Jocelyn was going to do and what I did is I knit the body to the length I wanted it. Jocelyn was going to put some ribbing around the bottom of her sweater and then carry on with 2, 3, 4 rounds of stockinette, just so that little bit of stockinette would curl up to the ribbing and stop the roll. Well, there was a few people were adding in suggestions while we were chatting about it, and somebody said do a few rows of garter stitch of purling. So I thought, okay, I'll try that. In the past, I've done 1 round of purl, and that's not usually enough. Sometimes, in that case, the whole thing flips up as well. So I thought, okay, I'll try a couple of rows. And I think I did 3 rounds, which then ended up giving it this, kind of decorative ridge. Then I did 4 rounds of stockinette. And sometimes it curls just to that ridge, and then it just I don't know. Not sure if I totally like it or not. Um, I'm trying to convince myself it looks decorative. I mean, it could be. It's fine the way it is. Honestly, though, I think if I was doing it again, I wouldn't put anything, and I would just see what the rolling situation was like. I tossed around the idea of pulling out these few rounds, taking out this ribbing, and then just knitting it and casting off. I don't know. I may do that. I may just wear it as is. I've already worn it. I've been wearing it around the house a little bit. Um, oh, Nancy says it's Kier like beer. Okay, that I can remember. Um, anyways, um, so this was just a little bit of an experiment. Good to know that really a couple of rounds of ribbing didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I'm curious to see how Jocelyn's ribbing. She was just getting to that point when I don't think you had the ribbing done, did you, Jocelyn, yet? You were just finishing up your sweater Friday night because you had 'cause you're taller than me, so you had a lot more body to knit on yours. So anyways, the 2-week sweater challenge was a huge success. I managed to get I got my sweater done Friday night. I had everything done except the neckline. Technically, I cast on Saturday, so, if we wanna get down to the hours, but you know what? Getting the body and 2 sleeves done, by Friday, totally happy with, and then I did pick up we were talking about, picking up stitches or not. It was quite a lot more open with, without picking up the stitches, so it really did pull it in a lot, and as I was knitting it, I was thinking, "Ooh, this might pull it in a little more than I wanted," and the the edging really does not roll on this, and that's kind of what I was wanting, but look at that. When you want it to roll, it doesn't. When you don't, it does, right? Murphy's Law. Anyways, I love this. I love it a lot. It fits completely perfect. I wanted to knit this with very little positive ease, and that's exactly how it turned out. The sleeves come down about mid palm, so you can like tuck your fingers in if you want. Um, I'm super happy. I would definitely knit this again. Um, oh, thanks, Donna Jean. Um, oh, Jude, if you don't get to it before, okay, Jude, what did Jude ask? Did anybody see what Jude asked? Did anybody answer Jude? Um, okay, let me see. They've been having an issue. Stitch count. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, that's a question for Jocelyn. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I'll let Jocelyn hey, chat with you about that one. Um, oh, Cindy, you managed to split past the sleeves over the weekend. Perfect. Because you guys, the Fiber Friends sweater challenge is going all month long. So don't stop now. If you were trying to do your 2-week sweater, and I mean any progress, we're not saying didn't get it finished because any progress at all is fantastic. So you've got to the whole right till the end of the month and put your finishes in the Fiber Friends Ravelry thread. I did open the Ravelry thread. I thought I had it open. Totally did not. Bernadette was kind enough to send me a message giving me a little reminder. So sorry about that. So anybody who's finished up a whip, if you've had been sitting on a finish, you can go put your finish in the Fiber Friends Ravelry thread. Let's see. Oh, what was my gauge and needle size, Louise? Good question. My needle size on this yarn, this was the Melange, and it's the fuzzy version of it, which was lovely to knit with. Super, super light. Definitely have plans to like buy this in every color. It took a ball and a half for me to do an extra large, a 48-inch chest. Um, so it's really economical for a sweater. The balls were $40 each. So I've got enough left over. I mean, Cheryl did bring up a good point that because they are large balls, if you only need a half of one, you are stuck with like 100 grams. But I mean, are we really ever stuck with yarn? I mean, it would make a great cowl. It would make a nice hat for somebody. I may do, yeah, I don't know. I think I've got enough that I might be able to get a baby sweater out of it for Scarlett. So we'll see. Anyways, I love the fact that they are 200-gram balls and there was, I think, 700 meters on each ball. And I love the fact that I had no ends to weave in until I had to join my second ball. And I think it was Tanya said that she was knitting from yarn that was very similar to this, not melange, but something else similar in shades of green. And she got the same yardage as I did. I managed to get the whole body because it was knit in the round, the body and one sleeve. Yeah, I don't know, half done and something. A good chunk done on the first sleeve, maybe even, yeah, maybe even 3/4 done. And then I had to join. So it worked out. It worked out great. Anyways, Sweater is done. 2-week sweater knitting challenge, always super, super fun. So if you didn't join it this year, there was about 11, 12 of us knitting, working on a project for this last 2 weeks. So if you didn't do it this year, we will be doing it again next year, the first 2 weeks of February. Think about joining. It's a fun challenge. And you can always, because we have no rules around here. The only rule is to have fun. So if you have a sweater that you want to cast on, or if you have something that is already in progress, you can make your own 2-week goal. You could say you could be to finish, start to finish, cast on and finish. It could be to get the body done. It could be to finish a sleeve, whatever. Set something and knit along and join in the fun. Hi, Amanda. Amanda says I'm still working on my Christmas socks. Amanda, at least you're working on yours. I have got what? I don't know how many, a couple pairs of Christmas socks that are on the needles that are put away till next, hopefully July. I should pull them out, to be honest, but um, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Um, oh, headbands would be nice with that yarn. You're right. It would be lovely. It would be nice. It would make a really nice end of winter spring hat because the ball band says for that melange, it says Aran, but it's not. It's light worsted is what I'm calling it. I knit it on a 4.5, and I don't know exact. I can't remember what my gauge was. I don't know if I have it here. Um, it was quite loose because I wanted it to be very drapey. And anyways, I really liked it, but yeah, definitely not Aran weight. So don't buy it for an Aran weight project, you guys. Go look at it first and inspect the thickness and see what you think, because I think that labeling is a little bit off. I'm just looking to see if you would think I would have that, but I don't. Hmm. Okay. Anyways, remind me, Louise, if you want to know, and I'll look. I'll measure it. Anyways. Oh, what is this from other sweaters and then scrappy blanket? Oh, that would be fun, Jocelyn. Yeah, save that. I mean, leftovers. People say, like, oh, save your receipt and return unused balls. And I like, uh, no. I have never done that. I mean, you guys know me. I don't part with my yarn. I I'm not returning it because I will always use it for something. So, okay, before we start talking about sock madness, let me show you what I have cast on. But give me one sec. You guys, I gotta have a quick drink. Um, 2 weeks ago, I this was I cast this on, but this was must have been right when we were working on the 2-week sweater. So remember this yarn? Look at this color, you guys. This is the cherry pit yarn. And okay, let's not do that. Anyways, it is lovely. Frolicking Feet Dove Roving Yarns. This yarn, I've had it in my stash for, I don't know, 5 years probably. And it was in Lisa, the code from the Codependent Knitters. It was in her stash before that. And if you guys know Lisa or watch the Codependent Knitters, you know that these fall colors are not in her color palette at all. So we were at a retreat weekend and we were doing a yarn swap, and this is the ball of yarn that she brought. And I was like, oh my goodness, that has my name written all over it. So this is what you voted for 2 weeks ago. This cherry pit. And I know this had been up once before and did not get picked. Oh my goodness, you guys. Last week, I didn't show it to you last week because I literally I wound the ball and cast on 5 stitches and maybe knit 1 row. And that was it. So I did a little bit over the weekend here. And look at how gorgeous that is. Look at those colors. Like fall, fall, fall. This is going to be amazing. Every time I start a new project, I'm like, will I keep it for me or will I give it away? And I had thought, okay, maybe I could give this away. And I'm like, absolutely not. Soon as I saw it start to knit up, I'm like, I love this. And I will be wearing this come October. Yes, absolutely. Love this. So it is well on its way. It again is just a simple, simple cast on boomerang shawl. Don't need to count rows. You don't need a pattern for it. It's just a recipe type project. And I'm increasing with yarn overs because I'm lazy and I think they're faster than a knit front and back. And they give you just a little bit. Okay, this needle. Oh, I'm fighting with this needle, but you got to use what you've got that doesn't already have 50 projects from last year cast on. Okay, you can't even see all along the edge. Oh, can you kind of, sort of, right? Maybe like see one or two there. There's just a nice little row of tiny little eyelets on there from the yarn over increase. Super simple, perfect just to pick up and knit on. So this will be this will be slated to finish come September. So I'm not going to rush on this one. Never enough hooks. Is that not the truth, Cindy? Oh my goodness. I yeah, these I don't know. I don't like to complain about needles. I mean, we all have our favorites, and there are the more expensive needles that certainly are nicer. And I think these are clover needles. Um, I'm guessing. I'm not entirely sure, but just the cord is not that nice on them, so I'm thinking they're clover. So they are a little bit cheaper needle that you can pick up at Michael's. Not sure where other places. I know around here in our city you can get them at Michael's. Some yarn shops probably have them as well. And you know what? They work fine. The tips on them are great. They're pointy. I like something pointy. Can you see that? I don't know. It's not bad. So it's just the cable is a little curly and it's just you get spoiled after you've used something with a really, really nice cable and you go back to something that does not have a nice cable. It just it just pronounces the problem a little bit. But anyways, I just like to think that I'm an experienced enough knitter and I can deal with a stiff cable and it will just be fine until I clear a project that has a really nice needle and then I can switch it out if I want. Or who am I kidding? It'll just stay on here and I will finish it. So, anyways, that is that. So those are the two things that I'm work. Oh no, it's not. I've got one more. I do have a second one, but I just haven't showed it to you yet. Last week's cast on was the yarn for Scarlett's new sweater for her birthday. we she may get it for her actual birthday. I don't know as I'll have it done in time for her party because her party is a little bit sooner than her birthday. So I don't we will see. I cast on. So remember the yarn from last week? Look at this. I love the color of this a lot. I think I am just obsessed with balls that look like this. Large balls. Now this one here is Universal Yarns. It's Color Burst. And the colorway is Romance. And it's just really pretty, like blush pinks and corals and grays. It's really, really nice. And this will look really nice because these are the shades that Anita put Scarlet in a lot. So I think this will be something that she can wear a lot. So I was kind of looking for a pattern. I had asked you guys for some suggestions. A couple people gave me some suggestions. I looked at them, saved them, put them in my library. And I don't know, I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, and then all of a sudden, I thought, silly me, I was going just searching through all the patterns, and I thought, "Wait a second, I should be looking in my own patterns that I already have." And I know it's like a year ago, I purchased the baby vertebrae sweater, and then somebody gifted me, they were super kind, and sent me the ebook with all of the larger patterns in it. So I thought, oh my gosh, I knit one when Scarlett was first born because she was almost a preemie. Super close. Didn't technically call her a preemie, but she was very, very close to being. So any newborn things were just way too big on her. So I did knit her um, a newborn in smaller yarn, smaller needles to get a smaller size, something that she could wear until she grew into the newborn. So, but that seems like forever ago, and that was almost a year ago. So, anyways, I thought I'm just going to reknit that pattern again in a larger size because it's a shrug. So it'll be cute. I'm going to do a little bit bigger, hopefully. It'll be something that she can wear throughout the summer and just pull on when it's like a cool summer night or early spring when you just need a little something on, right? So that is my plan. So I pulled out. So now this yarn. Did I show you? That is the yarn label. And my first thought about this yarn is, I mean, I have knit, you can see, I've knit 3 rows, but as you know, when you start knitting with a yarn, you kind of instantly have this gut feeling of like, you love the yarn, it's okay, you don't like it at all. This falls in, it's okay. It's not as nice as the Mélange for sure. This has feels a little more acrylic-y, even though this is like 50 acrylic. But this is superwash merino, so it shouldn't, but I don't know, it just I don't know, maybe I'm just too used to the blue yarn. But anyways, it's nice, and probably once I get my fingers remember what that blue Mélange was like to knit with because it was lovely, this will feel fine too. But this I don't love, love, love this yet as much as I did that other as the Mélange. Or the other one, the Shiva that I was knitting, kind of that red and gold colored sweater in. It was super, super nice too. This is definitely third out of all 3 of those balls, but still really, really nice. It's nice. It's nice. I'm just being super, super picky. So what is in this yarn? This is 65% superwash merino. Should be super wonderful, right? Um, 35% acrylic. So it's funny that I think that because this has the least amount of acrylic than the other 2 balls. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyways, it's fine. So I've just started. I've cast on. I've got 3 rows done. And I'm just going to knit this kind of in between Sock Madness socks, or hopefully there'll be a little time between when I get the first set of Sock Madness socks done and when the next pattern comes out that I can work on this for her birthday gift. So, oh, hi. Oh, Granny D. Hello. Hey, how are you? What is? I think Louise is just telling us all oh, stories. Yes. I'm sorry. I just got off on a tangent. It looks so fluffy. You know, it is. And it is nice. I don't know. But I would rate it behind the other two, which is kind of odd. Anyways, we'll talk more about that after I've knit more on it and we'll see what I think. Um, what I'm just kind of scrolling through. I've been knitting for over 40. I still keep learning new things, especially when yes, I know. It's oh my gosh, talking about new things, Nancy. Let's just talk right about Sock Madness. So, Sock Madness has started, you guys. The madness has begun. The fun has begun. Oh my goodness. Let me have a quick drink and then I will show you my sock progress. So the pattern came out for Sock Madness. First thing Friday morning, I woke up to an email saying the pattern was live. It was go time. You could cast on Friday morning. But it was Friday morning. It was the last Friday. It was the last day of the 2-week sweater knitting challenge. So guess what I was knitting on? Not my socks. I needed that day and to do a little knitting, but most of it I slept because I wasn't feeling well. So I did a little knitting and finished up one sleeve and called that was my knitting for that Friday. So I started the socks on Saturday at some point and got a little bit done. So this is it, you guys. So I can show the sock because you can look on Ravelry. There's a finished thread and Sock Madness Forever thread. And if you search on Instagram, maybe Facebook too, I'm not sure, but Instagram, if you use the hashtag Sock Madness 2024, Sock Madness 18, SM18, there's probably a little versions of the hashtags that people are using, and you will, I'm sure, be able to see. I searched kind of the first or second day, and there was a few pictures already up of people's starts. And there are super fascinators out there who already have a full pair finished. Last night, like Sunday, late afternoon, I think one of the first finishes was posted. So, anyways, I am having so much fun with this. I am loving it. The pattern name is called Hydra. Oh my gosh. I didn't write it down. Jen Carroll. I had the name before I came up here. I'm like, "I will remember that." Hy what is it? Hydra. Hydra scales. Scales. I wonder why scales. Because these little ovals. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. Um, anyways, that's it. So I have started for oh, yes. Okay, and you guys know I'm not gonna so Jen just put in the chat, um yeah, I think it's spelled with a Y, isn't it? I was already looking at this and thinking, "Okay, I'm gonna pronounce this with confidence." Um, I'll let Jen, um, type it back in here. Anyways, yes, it's, I'm not sure if this is this girl's first design. I think this is her first Sock Madness design, and, anyways, it is so fun to knit. It is I'm loving knitting it. So it's the same front and back. Just started yes. So, Wyvern Knits, W-Y-V, Wyv E-R-E-R-N? Or E oh, no, E-M. My eyes are literally going cross-eyed reading this chart. Um, so probably Wyvem Knits. Anyways, lovely pattern. It's fun. I'm not sure how many people are knitting this. There is, um what did I see in the chat thread on the Ravelry group, there was over 2,000 people had been reading the chat. So, I'm sure not all 2,000 people are actually knitting. I'm sure there's some people who have knit in the past, or some people who have just heard people talking about it and have gone to check it out, but there's gonna be a lot of people actually knitting this. So, you cannot show any part of the pattern. So, um oh, Dawn has test knit for her? That's oh, it's not her first design. See, I haven't even gone searching to see because I've been knitting. So that's what the inside looks like. So this pattern is a combination of intarsia cables, which are fun, and, oh no, Dawn's out. Well, it's not for everybody. I'm sure there's probably other people who have started it. Um, I know I've been okay, so anyways, let me talk about this. So there's Encharge cables, there's cabling, there's some slip stitches. So some of these outside cables are done almost like a mosaic stitch because you're slipping. And helic helical knitting because the body is knit in one row rounds. So you get a jogless join. So, oh, Diane, she's on FaceTime. All right. Tell her I said hi. And she can now breathe easy and just do fun knitting. Um, okay, you know what? I shouldn't say that. I did scroll through her Instagram. I don't think I looked on her Ravelry, but I did look on her Instagram and I did see a cowl, a colorwork cowl. Maybe they were socks. It was the same pattern, and she might have done a cowl, hat, and socks with it. So yeah, um, yeah, she had definitely has an eye for color for sure. Oh, Don says 3 times starting, first repeat, and that was it. Yes. Yes. I could see that. Yes. Yeah, there's no point struggling with it, right? And that's the thing. You just never know depending on what the pattern choice is. If it's something that's in your wheelhouse, if cables are not your thing, those people are probably dreading this and maybe they have just called it quits as well. Um so you never know, right? I'm liking it, but it is taking me forever, 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 forever. But I am also going very slow because I do not want to miscross a cable. I do not want to have to go back and unknit the cables and correct them. So I'm trying to be super, super, super careful. Like, I shouldn't even put that out there. My cables are all going to be fine and wonderful. But honestly, now that I've started for the heel, I'm like, oh my word, because I was doing these first repeats here. It was the same on the front and the back. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just like seeming to take forever and ever and ever. Well, now that we're knitting from two different charts, um, it is so much fun and it seems to go quicker because you're constantly going from back and forth. But now I'm just stressing about there's a different kind of heel in this pattern, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, am I doing this right?" Because when you go and you read through the chat thread, and you can wake up and look at the chat thread, and you've missed 800 messages. So you can't really keep up with all of them. And I mean, and even if you did try to keep up, um, so what I do is in the morning, I wake up and I read a few pages from where I left off the night before and just kind of skim to see if there's any questions, something that might help me if somebody's had a problem. A lot of them, and I know Jen exactly because I remember I did this last year. You start reading the chat because I'm like, okay, well, part of me is like, I don't want to miss out on something. And because you do have to read one thread to see if there are any errors, any changes to the pattern. And there was something that I was unsure about. So I did go through the chat and searched in the chat. But I know there's a lot. It almost, when you see like 1,000 questions, you're like, oh my gosh, how hard is this pattern? But a lot of them are, kinda simple questions. I think there's a lot of advanced beginners who have jumped in to do Sock Madness, and a lot of these, like, cables and Intarsia is maybe something they've never done before, so they're asking very simple questions about, "So do I carry my color all the way around?" And in Intarsia, you don't. So, but at first glance, you read it and you're like, "Oh my gosh, why are so many people having trouble?" And yeah, so like Jen said, she's like, "Don't overthink it. Don't need the chat threads, just read the pattern." Yeah. Um, I did look at it a couple times because I wanted to make sure that I had my leg length the right length, so I just searched for finished pictures to look at. But, yeah, so I'm trying to stay out of the chat because I know it kind of makes you worry about something that I already know how to do. And, so anyways, I'm just gonna carry on and I'm just gonna work through the heel row by row and see where see how it turns out. I've never done it before, so it looks very interesting. Jen, have you done this heel before? Oh, I saw it. Carol, what did you say? Well, Louise, I took the weekend off, so I'm just slowly knitting on the leg. The actual sock looks better than a picture. It's a challenge for me. We will persevere. Yeah. Well, it's good. It's kind of a good challenge, but either you know, Dawn, she already called it quits, which is totally fine. You don't want to stress over it. So I'm just going to see. I'm just hoping I can get through the heel and then the foot. I know I want to say it should be a piece of cake because it should just be, as far as I kind of scan the pattern, should just be repeating what I've already done for the leg, but only on the top half. So it should go even faster. And then toe decreases and it will be done. So I was, anyways, I'm just going to see how much I can knit tonight. I want to knit a little bit more, but we'll see how I feel by the time we get done here. I'll see if I can even get a couple of rows done. We have a full 2 weeks, so I'm not super worried about the time frame, but it would make me happy to get a good chunk of this heel knit in the next couple of hours too. Um, anyways, it'll be what it is, right? And because you can't guarantee what the week is going to bring, right? With work, with family, life happens. So fingers crossed. I've got kind of have, me, I like to break down my projects and know by this night I need to have this done. The next night I need this done. So I kind of know where I need to be, and we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I don't end up working late or anything, and because that would derail my plans big time. The heel is actually very easy. Oh, it was your first time doing it? Well, I was a little worried again. Sorry, you guys. Um, about the heel, just because so many people seem to be having trouble with it. And that's when I kind of thought, okay, I just stopped reading the chat. I went to look at the pattern and I just read it through a couple times, looked at the charts, and like I just totally took a break. I put my knitting down and thought, I am just going to look at the pattern. And I thought, I'm not going to rush. I've got lots of time. Read through the instructions, read through the minimum requirements that they need for competition, and looked at the charts. And, reading it through a couple times, and I'm like, okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Um, so again, that just reaffirms what Jen says: stay out of the chat. um, unless you really do have a problem, and then that is a spot you can go because people do post pictures, and people who um, are more advanced knitters than some of the beginners, they're very good at helping the beginners, which is really nice because it is a competition, right? So all these new people who are just wanting to have some fun and learn some new skills are also your competition. So it's really nice to see that people take the time out of their own knitting time to leave really detailed answers to help somebody out and to add video links to go check out YouTube videos. So it's nice. Definitely get the feeling that everybody is there to have fun. And at least for the beginning rounds, right? Maybe not so much when it gets to the end when it's like serious knitting. There may be those knitters aren't taking time. Now, I do know the girl that finished the third pair of finishes, she was chatting quite a bit in the chat. She had asked a couple of questions. She had asked a couple of questions, and which kind of led me to think, um, I don't know, maybe she's a newer sock knitter, but she's definitely a fast knitter because she was the third finish to be posted. So so obviously she was knitting, reading, and typing all at the same time. The first two, I don't know if I saw their avatar in the Ravelry thread, but honestly, there were so many. There was chunks of ones that I just didn't even skim through. I just so I don't know. Anyways, anyways, it's fun. So, I'm just gonna keep going to work on this heel. I love the colors. Oh, I was gonna tell you about the yarn. So, neon yellow and orange because why not? It's fun. I thought this is, I'm gonna have fun with this sock madness. I'm not gonna stress at all about this. And, you know, if I get them done, I get them done. If I don't, there is always next year. I'm just gonna have fun with it. I'm gonna learn new things. And after the competition's over, or if I somehow get way behind and know there's no hope of finishing, I actually do want to try to pull back and undo the cables. Because I did read in the chat, there was a couple people had left some detailed explanations on how to do it. Somebody had posted a picture and their cable was all I looked at it, I didn't read the words, I just looked at the picture and I'm like, that does not look right." And it was just the little round tops of the stitches, and she had undone all of them. So I thought it would be a good skill to have because I don't think I've done that, actually just pulled back cables. So that would be fun to try and do. So maybe not on this sock. Maybe I'll do a little test knit, a little gauge and try that because I should stop talking about it because I don't want to jinx myself, but there'll be a time I may have to do that. So this yarn, I am loving this yarn and I did not bring the ball bands up, you guys. Um if you look on my post I guess it would have been last week, I did have the ball bands on here, and I want to say something like KFI fingering weight. I'm pretty sure I got this at Linda's Craft Boutique last year when we were up there for a retreat weekend, and I am loving this. The colors, it knits that up nice, and I like it. So I would definitely buy more of this. The teal color is a different, it is coop knits. This was just a little 50-gram ball that I wound up. And I just love those colors together because I thought, you know what? There's a very real possibility this may be the only sock I do for Sock Madness this year. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to have lots of fun with it. I'm going to pick, like my most special fun yarn and cast on and knit it. Sam sent me a picture. Okay. Of your hat. Oh, that's good. Okay, let me see. Oh, and we were at 9 o'clock, you guys. I made it. My voice held out. I do think I need to go have a rest. At 9 o'clock at night, does having a rest that should really just be bed this should just be go to bed, right? But I wanna do more of this heel. I'm thinking if I have, like, a 20-minute rest, then maybe I can knit. But we all know you should never, ever knit when you're tired. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit. Weigh what I know I should do versus the fact that I really wanna knit some more on this heel. Because, um, the heel is challenge like, I don't know, I feel like it's kinda challenging. It's because it's something new, and I just wanna keep going on it. But we'll see. Maybe I'll hold off and just get a good night's sleep and get up early before, the day starts tomorrow. Oh, Sam, that looks great. Oh, it looks like you did quite a bit of ribbing again. That's wonderful. You are getting the hang of it. Okay, you guys. I will show this to you. Uh, I don't know where they're ribbing and the start of a hat. Sam, it looks great. Good job. Keep going. Oh, anyways, you guys, so this is going to be like this month has been such a fun knitting month. Sweater knitting, a finished sweater, a really, really fun sock. Jen, did you say, did you tell me? Okay, so obviously you must have done the heel because you're telling me the heel is actually easy and it was your first time. So do you have a finished sock? I'm guessing you must. I mean, if I'm kinda, sorta, almost halfway, you are probably finished because you're a much faster knitter than I am. So, um, anyways, yeah, it's fun. So I'm just gonna have fun with this, but I'm finding hours of reading the chart, truly does make me go cross-eyed. I did get out my magnifiers for my cross stitching, and I'm putting those to use now as I'm reading the chart and looking at my stitches, especially when it gets to be later at night. So that's working for me, but yeah, I'm having so much fun. So I think because we still have like what, 10 days? 11 days? We had a full 14 from Friday. So I want to be aware of the time and stay on track and not just let it go because I will probably need all of the time. But I'm also not going to knit when I'm tired and make mistakes because I don't want to have to fix it. So, anyways, oh, Jen's going to finish in about 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Are you going to post a picture? You can post a picture in the Fiber Friends if you want, and we can see your colors. I was thinking about posting something in the Fiber Friends, but I was like, I have to knit. I can't get distracted by Facebook. So, anyways, so yeah, Jen, that's amazing. That's good. So Carol, you said you just started. You started today, and you're working your way through the leg. So that's good. Um, that's exciting. I know there was a couple more Fiber Friends knitters that were joining in too. So we'll have to see. I'll have to do a post at some point and see who else knitting and how everybody's making out. Um, yeah, there may be some people who also aren't loving the cables and the intarsia and everything together. So, anyways, you'll post some photos tomorrow. It's dark. Okay, good. That'll give me something to look at while I'm at work and not knitting. Anyways, Jen, we're gonna cheer you on with sock 2. Carol, keep going. Plug away. All right, everybody. Oh, Dustin's off to crochet. Okay. I think I missed a few comments in here, but I hope you guys all have had a good weekend and hope it had a great long weekend if it was a long weekend for you. Did something fun. Maybe it was filled with knitting. Maybe it was actually seeing family. Um, anyways, okay, you guys, I'm gonna go and carry on with the night. So thank you so much for voting. Where here it is. There we are. I've got my 5 millimeter needle. I will, when I'm taking a break from my sock, I will cast this on. And we will be back here next Monday night with a new cast on, some updates, a sock update. This sock had better be finished and sock number 2 well on its way. If it's not, I am done for sure. But anyways, we will see. I'm thinking only good thoughts for everybody who's doing their socks and all the other projects. So everybody have a fantastic week. We will see you on Monday. Happy knitting.